Malaysian Airlines Flight 370.
On Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370.
Flight 370
is who did what, where, when, and why on the night.
Where is the plane and its passengers?
Hey guys, welcome to the episode 2 of Lost. This video's topic is Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. Make sure to subscribe for more mysteries of things that vanished, and like the video if you enjoy. So if you haven't been living under a rock for the last 4 years, you've probably heard about the Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. This plane is associated with one of the biggest airline mysteries ever, and still hasn't been solved. Not only did the plane go missing, but it turned around mid-flight, turned off the flight recorder, and there was never any word from passengers aboard. The airliner simply vanished without a trace. Today we will dive into the mystery and understand what happened, and possibly discover why it did. On March 8th of 2014, the Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 departed from Kuala Lumpur International Airport with 239 people aboard the Boeing 777 heading towards Beijing Capital International Airport. The takeoff went without a hitch, and the plane was led by veteran pilot Zahari Ahmed Shah and newer co-pilot Farik Abdul Hamid. Air traffic control lost contact with the plane less than an hour after the flight when the plane began to fly over the South China Sea, as was planned in the route. Shortly after this last ping, several instruments connecting the flight with the ground were turned off mysteriously. This marked the beginning of a new path, and the plane had completely vanished to radar. The flight was continuing on its normal path for the 6-hour journey to China when it suddenly changed trajectory, veering back westwards. Here the plane traveled along the border of Thailand and Malaysia towards the Andaman Sea, which was on the west border of the two countries. Military radar sometimes would pick up the plane on the border, but then it would suddenly lose contact. This is now expected to be a method of being invisible, as the countries could not constantly track the planes as it passed into the other country's territory. A dark thing to happen to add to the mystery. After passing over the land, the plane dipped its wing to turn right near Penang. There were some reports of a call from the plane over Penang, possibly from the phone of the co-pilot, but there was never any further information on the topic. Some experts believe this dip near Penang was a farewell to Malaysia by a pilot. After this turn, the plane continued a forward path over the Andaman Sea. After some distance, the plane was completely off of radar, and what happened from there is still a mystery, 4 years later. So what happened? Well, it's hard to say. Experts still argue of what they think has happened. Little debris has been found since the disappearance. The main consensus of the experts is that the plane came down in a murder-suicide mission due to the elaborate flight which occurred, which I will talk about more later. This being a chilling thing to happen on a flight. This leads you to think about why the killer would want to kill so many people along with themselves and create such a horrible disaster. Was the killer the pilot? Well, I won't say that it isn't possible, but from the information from his online presence, he seemed to truly love what he did. He was a 53-year-old family man, had a personal flight simulator accompanying his over 18,000 hours of flight, and he wasn't very religious. He made a few videos on his own YouTube channel, which made him look like a kind person, and the people that knew him never said anything bad about him. Many investigations were done around him and his home, and nothing incriminating was ever found, but maybe he was just very good at hiding the evidence, just like hiding the plane if he was the reason for the disappearance. We must not forget that there was another player in the cockpit as well, this being the co-pilot. The 27-year-old was on his first flight without a training pilot overlooking him in the giant 777 aircraft. He also was known to love flying airplanes and gave the final, now infamous message from a plane before it was lost.
Good night, Malaysia 370.
He was known as a good religious boy. He had an incident with letting some girls into the cockpit and smoking, but with the experienced pilot Zahari Ahmed Shah, no mischief would occur during this flight, but maybe some did, and the apparent call was the final call before he took down the plane. There is another interesting piece of the story that leads to more speculations. This being that there was no attempt to communicate from the plane. This is very shady, as something must have been done to the passengers to make them completely silent. Experts believe that it was likely due to hypoxia from either depressurizing the cabin or from reaching a great height in the flight. This would have been able to quickly and quietly kill all of the passengers aboard the flight. Some ideas suggest that the plane was landed on Diego Garcia, an American military base near Malaysia, but this has been denied. Some others believe that the flight was taken down by a hacker, which is given credit by silencing all of the passengers, which possibly could have been done with some code. But the likelihood of this actually occurring is very unlikely due to the great knowledge that would be needed and the speed and accuracy this would need to be carried out with. Others say that it could have been due to a slam dunk by LeBron James which shook the plane out of the sky. Or even more crazy, an alien attack which was given a voice by the strange recording from an apparent extraterrestrial call, giving coordinates near Malaysia.
4 Sierra Tango Hotel Echo Yankee Alpha Romeo Echo November Oscar.
But no matter what happened, the event has taken 239 lives of many innocent people who have never been seen since. The mystery of the infamous flight being lost still continues due to no evidence of a black box and few actual pieces of the aircraft being recovered. All that has been concluded by their experts as of now is that the flight was quietly landed somewhere in the ocean, which led to no small pieces being scattered. This was likely a strategic way to make this plane continue to be lost forever. Over 4 years later, this flight continues to be one of the largest mysteries surrounding planes to date. With 239 people lost, the families of the victims still look for an answer of what happened to their loved ones. We may never know what happened on this infamous flight, but we can continue to look and hope that something will show up and we will find the answers to all of our questions. Until then, the ocean will continue to be vast and we will only be able to wonder.
This woman pleaded to the gods to watch over her son.
That's all I have for this episode of Lost. Please subscribe for more Lost videos and leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Comment what you think happened to Flight 370. Until next time, here on SparkPass.